All right, good afternoon, Farouk Olamide, Ekpe Ambassador, Madam Monaji, good afternoon, and Pristine, good afternoon. Macaulay, Blessing, Maureen, good afternoon. All right, let's start. So today we're having very powerful fundamental events this afternoon. By 2:30 p.m., we have core retail sales from Canada, core retail sales and retail sales will be happening simultaneously. Okay, Chuku, good afternoon. So what does this news involve? Core retail sales measures the change in the total value of sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. So data on the sales of automobile is excluded from this particular report. An actual greater than forecast is good for the currency, and the frequency is released monthly, about 50 days after the month ends. And retail sales, on the other hand, measures the change in the total value of sales at the retail level. Actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. So these two events will come out simultaneously by 2:30, and there's going to be the unemployment claims from the United States, and it measures the number of individuals who file for unemployment insurance for the first time during the last week. Actual less than forecast is expected to be good for the currency. So if by 2:30 p.m., the data from Canada, both of them comes out to be good for the CAD. To be good for the CAD means it's actual greater than forecast. That is a data above 0.1%. That will lead to a bullish movement on the Canadian dollar. And if it is less than forecast, which is less than 0.1%, it will lead to a bearish movement on the Canadian dollar. Now, for the US unemployment claims, that one is a different report altogether. For that one, if the actual comes out, now here, actual less than forecast is what is good for the currency. So if the actual comes out less than 221K, that's 221,000, that's any data from 220 and below, then we are expecting a bullish movement on the dollar. And if it is greater than 221, then we're expecting a bearish movement on the dollar. Now, because these two data contains both the CAD and the dollar, I will advise we trade USD CAD with a lot of caution. If the data comes out bad for the dollar, but good for CAD, then USD CAD will sell. If on the other hand, the data comes out good for CAD and bad for the dollar, then, sorry, good for the dollar and bad for the CAD, then USD CAD will buy. But since we don't know the outcome yet, I will advise we trade USD CAD with a lot of caution. Instead of trading USD CAD, it will be good if you can focus on other CAD pairs that have a possibility of trending during the course of this news. And also later today, now, if you can avoid technical trading this afternoon session between 5 p.m. and beyond, it will be good, because aside this specific news that has been mentioned, by 5 p.m., President Donald Trump of the United States will give a speech. This is his first speech that the Forest Factory will capture, I think so. So he's going to be giving a speech by 5 p.m. Now, it's notable of Trump to give speeches and to say things that can disrupt the market. We witnessed it the last time it was, as in his first time in office as the president of the US. And same thing is going to happen this time around, even it can be more. So this afternoon, if you can avoid technicals, please avoid, because these fundamentals may just disrupt a lot of things. So Donald Trump is going to give a speech at 5 p.m. We don't know the direction. So we want to believe maybe it may be good for the dollar and may lead to bullish movement, but we can't say yet. We can't say with all certainty. We don't know what he has in mind to share. And his body language can also determine what will happen in the market. His gesticulations, his personal opinions, all these things will lead to volatility in the market. So I will encourage you to trade with a lot of caution around that period. If you have any running trade, just make sure you have the stop loss in place so that you don't get caught up unawares in whatever may happen during the speech of President Trump. Now, his speech will run simultaneously with the crude oil inventory also, so which could impact upon the dollar. So trade the dollar with a lot of caution this afternoon session. So I'll flip over now to MetaTrader to look at what the market has in stock technically ahead of this news we are expecting. All right. There's an instrument I've put my attention on since the beginning of the week, and I still have my eyes on it, and that's the Euro card. I have my attention on this instrument. Hopefully, maybe it will trigger in the course of this afternoon session when the news is released. From my analysis at the beginning of the week, for this instrument, you have price trading around a rejection, sorry, not the rejection candle, around a symmetrical triangle on the daily time frame. This is what a symmetrical triangle looks like. Price has been trading within this pattern, right from the beginning of the week. And at some point, we could see that there was a rejection candle that tried to break out of the upper arm of that trend line over there. Normally for a rejection candle, a breakout upwards signify a buy and a breakout downwards signify a sell. But then for this particular candle here, it tried to break out, above here, but, it was intersected by a resistance zone. So that resistance did not allow that breakout. So this candle ended up becoming a rejection candle. And when you have rejection candle at resistance level, potentially it may lead to a bearish movement. So if the news on Canada this afternoon comes out good for the card, they will be expecting a reversal of price here into a sell. If the data comes out good for the Canadian dollar, that will lead to a reversal on Euro card. Why will it lead to a reversal on Euro card? Because for Euro card, the card is the quote currency. So if the news is good for the card, as card JPY and maybe card CHF is buying, Euro card is expected to decline in price to the bearish direction. So I hold a bearish outlook on the Euro card. However, it's possible the news may come out bad for the card. If it comes out bad for the card, then Euro card will buy, but it will be a short-term buy, and price may hit this resistance zone. But ultimately, I will expect that it will still fall if it's unable to break that resistance zone. So either way it wants to happen, it may still lead to a bearish movement. If it's good for the card, sorry, if it's bad for the card, we may have a slight bullish movement, after which we'll expect a reversal. So I'm saying that I favor more of a long-term bearish movement on the Euro card if the news comes out good for the card. And aside the Euro card, I've also looked earlier at the beginning of the week at, I think, at AUD card and Euro card. But my focus this afternoon is actually the Euro card. That's where I have my attention. For the New Zealand card and Euro card, they have similar setup. We have a trend line, a rejection candle, and a resistance zone. This one is also a very strong confluence point. Again, if the news comes out good for the card, then we expect a decline on the New Zealand card. So it's still the same type of setup, at least in the same direction. The news is good for the card, then we expect a reversal on the New Zealand card. All right, those are the two setups I'm watching for the news by 2:30 p.m. You can also pay attention to these two setups. Now, for the dollar, it's going to be dependent on what Donald Trump says, regardless of what is in the market. So I wouldn't want us to put more attention or much attention, to the dollar, except if you want to trade the unemployment claims independently. Well, that is possible. If you want to trade unemployment claims, we can look at the dollar index. At the beginning of the week, I maintained that I had a bearish outlook on the dollar, and we've seen some bearish movements in the last couple of days. I'm trying to see possibilities around this for the news. I'm not seeing anything on the dollar index. Let me check the USD CHF. For the USDCHF, it's a long-term sell because price is yet to break out above this resistance zone that we have on the weekly time frame. All right. Technically, we still have that bearish outlook on the USDCHF. So if price breaks out below the support level, we should expect a further decline. But trade with caution because the effect of the news ahead from Trump might also have its impact on that unemployment claim. So I want to leave the dollar out. Let's just focus on the card for this afternoon session news trading. And I mentioned at the beginning of the week that the patterns I'm seeing on the Bitcoin, the BTC USD, is showing there's going to be a possible likelihood of a reversal. Today's Thursday, you can see that price hit a resistance level, a resistance zone earlier in the week. And currently, for me, it's trying to form what looks a lot like a double top on the weekly time frame. It's still information though. If you flip down to the daily and 4 hour, this is exactly what I mentioned, I think on Monday or maybe yesterday. It's getting clearer that it's trying to form a head and shoulder. That's a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and a drop. Now, if price drops below this neckline region, if a new candle opens below this neckline region, it's going to target the next support zone. Now, price currently is at $101,000 per Bitcoin, and this low is around 92 to 90,000, sorry, 90 to $92,000. So in the course of today or maybe tomorrow, whenever price breaks below the support zone, you can safely trigger a sell on BTC USD. But the question there is that this is a swing trade, so it requires you to have sufficient liquidity, sufficient capital to trade it because Bitcoin can be very volatile. So you need sufficient liquidity to trade this. But if a new candle opens, like I said, I'm expecting BTC USD to sell. All right, that'll be all for my end this afternoon. Trade safe. Macaulay is asking, help us check on the trade that we got in the morning. Should I close or wait? Euro USD and Euro CHF. If you're given a trade in the morning, I believe the take profit and the stop loss was given. So you can go ahead and make sure that is in place. So if that is in place, there's nothing to worry about. So I'm buying USD CHF. Should I close the pair? You're already on a trade now. Just watch your trade. Just watch the trades. I've not said you should close any trade. Make sure you have a stop loss in place and your take profits in place also. All right, we're ending the class right here. Um, don't forget our online classes are also back. So if you missed yesterday's class, the link was dropped in the WhatsApp groups for all the groups. We had an evening session yesterday, 7 p.m. You know, before now, we used to have online class 3 p.m., but then we got feedback that that time was not convenient for some of us. So we moved it to 7 p.m. So that should be like after work. So Mondays and Wednesdays going forward, we'll always have online training session. So you can just try to join us. We had one yesterday. We looked at the MetaTrader platform and the link has been dropped. So you can go ahead and watch it if you missed that session. And again, if you want to join copy trading to start earning as soon as possible, you can just go ahead and reach out to me. I can guide you on the one to join. Okay, we'll end this analysis session here. Trade safe and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye. Abdurrahman Abdul Akin is saying, CAD JPY. Okay, Ekpe Ambassador is asking about my number. I'll give you my official PU Prime number. Just in a second. Or if you want to reach out to me strictly for copy trading, then you can reach out to me on this number, +234 702 526 36 and 04. On WhatsApp, please. You can reach out to me for that to get you a copy trading solution. Then Abdul Karim is asking about CAD JPY. So I'll look at that rather in a minute. All right, so this is CAD JPY on the daily time frame. This is weekly 4-hour. Now, there's no clarity around this instrument now. That's why I didn't mention it for my analysis. Even though we're expecting news from Canada by 2:30 p.m., there's no clarity. There's no clear setup. You can see like a kind of a range up there. So it's not too stable at the moment. We can look at the Euro card and the New Zealand card. We have a better setup for those two instruments to trade for the news. All right, so that'll be all for now. Take care and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.